볼까요?
So, et si tu peux me dire, c'est clair, vous n'avez pas besoin d'introduction. You do not need an introduction. Many people know that you've been in the NHL for 13 years, right? Montreal Canadiens for how many years? Pour combien d'années pour les habitants?
I think I was 6 years.
6 years.
Years, yeah.
How was it to play for the Montreal Canadiens? Because it is a hockey town, a lot of pressure. How is it? How was it?
It was awesome. I mean, well, actually, I gotta say that first I got picked up on waivers by I was in Buffalo, and like my when I was young, I dreamt about playing in Montreal. Of course, huh? I'm talking about the during the '80s. We had the Montreal Canadiens and the Quebec Nordique. So I was cheering for Montreal. But everybody all around the world knew Montreal, and they wanted to be or play for Montreal. So my dad is a big fan of Montreal Canadiens. So I grew up cheering for them. And when I got picked up of the waivers by Buffalo, I was so nervous because growing up, I knew how tough it was to play first in the NHL, but especially in Montreal because their young players would spend so much time in the minors. Some of them would like lose their career there. So I was so nervous. So I got picked up on waivers, and actually, it's kind of funny the way I learned it. I was GP Dumont, Jean-Pierre Dumont, my one of my best friend, was playing in Buffalo. So we're all excited. We're finally gonna play together in the NHL, and so for training camp, I stayed at his place for just for the training camp. I didn't want to be at the hotel, and so I called home. I was hurt. So when I got picked up, I was hurt. My shoulder had a shoulder problem. So the guys were on the ice practicing. So I called my wife. She was my girlfriend back then, and I said she was with GP's wife, and I said. What you girls want to have for lunch after the practice? I'm waiting for GP, and then we're gonna go get some to eat, and we'll bring it home. So she's like, "Well, you have nothing to tell me?" I said, "Yes. What do you want to eat?" She like, "No, we didn't tell you anything." I said, "Okay, you have something. Tell me. Tell me." She's like, "Well, I'm watching our DS right now, and on the ticker it says that you're going to Montreal. You got picked up by Montreal." I said, "Are you kidding me?" No, no, you're. I had one of my friend that called her, David called her and said, "Hey, Steve's coming to Montreal. I'm so excited." So it's like I have no idea. Let me call you back. So I went to see the trainers, and finally that's how I learned I was going to Montreal. But I was so nervous because when I was in Calgary and in Buffalo, I was always watching the TV show 110%, and they were always blasting the players like crazy. was I'm like, oh my God, not me, I'm not going there. Oh, like I was excited, but I was so nervous. And that night we watched 110%, and they were blasting me. They were, "Who's the hell is that guy, Steve Bégin? The only good thing about him is French, but he's not never gonna play in Montreal. They're gonna send them
Oh,
minors." So they were going on and on. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like I was that's why I was so nervous. But as soon as I got there, so I missed the first three game with my shoulder injury. Uh, I didn't have my surgery yet, but my shoulder, I was hurt my shoulder. So um, I got there, missed the first three games, and finally I got to play the first game. So Claude Julien was the head coach. He loved me because I played against him in junior. So I fought his tough guy, Peter Worrell, in the junior, and in the AHL. I played so many games against them. He was coaching in Hamilton. Every time I was playing so good against him. So I'm pretty sure he's the reason why I end up in Montreal. And he gave me the chance to play my first game, and then after that I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. It was a perfect fit for me. I'm French Canadian. I grew up in Trois-Rivières, a small town between Montreal and Quebec City, and it was a dream come true. It's a cliche to say that, but when you're from here, and especially in the when I'm born in '78, so Montreal Canadian was a big deal till end of '90s. After that, like with all the media, like the Instagram, Twitter, and everything, and all the like kids can go and watch other games, other teams on internet. So it's not as big as it used to be. But my time it was probably your time too, guys. It was a Montreal Canadian. So for me, it was kind of a big thing, big deal, and I enjoyed every moment of it. It was unreal, and it's still one of my best souvenir of my whole career.
And
Amazing.
Steve, um, is somebody in your obviously you played hockey, okay, and everything. In your opinion, is somebody born to be an athlete at your level, or is it something that anyone, you put your mind to it, you practice, you can make it happen? Because a lot of people, like, they put their kids in sports and different stuff, but I find that obviously my kid will not be a superstar. You have to have like a some kind of special gift. Is that true, or it's
I don't think you need a special gift. It's all inside of you. If well, I don't think you're born with it. Um, well, it's tough to explain.
You
like,
develop
how
it.
did you start? How did you start?
Developed
Like,
it.
what was your first day? How
Desire.
did
It's
you know?
probably the way you're raised, the way you like. Like I said, I grew up in a poor place. My family, I was raised by my dad. We had no money. We were on welfare, and I realized when I was young, like very young, that that's not the life I wanted. I wanted something better for first for myself, but for my family also. And I remember telling my dad, I was 9 years old. I said, Dad, I love you. You're kind of my hero, but I don't want to be like you. I want to have like something good in life. I want to have a good job. I want to play. And I said, I didn't say job. I want to play in the NHL so I can provide to my family. And he's like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure you're gonna make it, and I wish it to you. I hope you're gonna make it, but I'm sure because you work hard and you believe in yourself. So it's all start from there. If you believe in yourself, I think you have the first step in the right direction. Because as soon as you doubt yourself, you start with a straight, and it's tougher. It's where the problems start happening. And but younger, I always believed in myself. I knew I would make it. I starting at 6 years old, I started to say that well, I wanted to play in the NHL, and I worked hard on it. My dad always told me that you have to work harder than the guy sitting next to you, and
Hmm.
that's always what I did. And I took pride of it, and I was proud of the way I was playing. And I think that's it. I don't think you're born with it. No, I don't think so. It's maybe you believe it, or what do you think?
No, no, that's the thing. Me personally, I believe that discipline will always overpower talent, because you can
Oh,
have all the talent in the world and you do nothing with it, right? So
yeah.
discipline, discipline, discipline.
Art and discipline. It's character. You need to be. You put all those together, and you're gonna make it. There's so many guys that were so talented when I was a kid, and they were skilled. They were a lot better than me. They didn't make it. Why?
Yep.
They didn't want to work harder than the other guy. So I was always the first guy on and the first guys off the ice. So, um, but being that being said, it's funny because lately I've been saying that to the like when I do podcasts and stuff like that. Um, like I was well known as one of the hardest player, and like I said, I took pride the way I was playing and working harder than everybody. But I think I took it a little bit too seriously because when I was practicing, after practice, I would stay on the ice and back skate myself. To that I just wanted to be like the guys always standing at the end of the game, and the guy with full of energy that would give from the first minute to the last minute everything I have and not change anything. and feel like my tank was full the whole time. But I probably spared the skill side a little bit, and I I think it's funny, and probably I wouldn't change anything if I would have to redo it again, because I made it that way, and that's why I stayed as long as 13 years. I played over 500 games in the NHL, but it's it's something that I like when I talk to the kids. I say, well, do what I say, not what I did. So yes, do like I did, like working side, like I worked hard, but practice everything. Like skill wise, it's now the kids are so good. Every kids are good. It's crazy because I had a chance to coach for a year and be assistant coach in Drummondville in the Quebec League, Junior Major Quebec League, and everybody's skilled. It's unreal how good they are. It's crazy.
So going back to what Nick was saying about are you born? It's just like there's a saying, leaders aren't born, they're created, right? By hard
Exactly.
work and everything, so on and so on. So you mentioned 13 years, 500 games, right? Especially, let's say, for example, 50% or 40% of that was Montreal Canadiens, right?
Yeah, I played. About that 50%. Yeah.
50%, half of your career, Montreal Canadiens. So what was your biggest highlight at the Bell Center or as a Montreal Canadian?
Oh my God, there's so many. Just playing there, having the chance to play for the Montreal Canadiens, was something huge for me. Um, but if you want me to pinpoint something, it's well, there's so many. Actually, the first game I played there, it was crazy at the Bell Center. It was unreal. The first time I put the jersey on, I had seriously. I walked at the back of the room and I looked at myself in the mirror with the hat jersey on. I was like, my God, is there a dream or it's really happening? It was crazy. I could talk about my first goal against Detroit Red Wing. But every time we're playing in the playoff, the city went nuts. It was crazy. That I will always remember. It was so much fun. But every time the fans were shouting my name, like it was unreal. Like I never thought they would shout my name during a game, and it happens a lot. Like a few minutes, like it happens, like I don't know many times, but it happened a lot. And every time I was so surprised, and it will fuel me like with energy. Like every time they were scanning my name, and I was
Goosebumps.
grateful. Yeah, I had goosebumps. It was always been grateful for that, and this is good. So I will always remember that because, like I was saying, that like a player like me, I wasn't Saiku Koivu, I wasn't Kovalev, but they were like shouting my name, like 21,000 fans and the crowd, and it was all about me. That was unreal. That's a good souvenir, I think.
Steve, when you like, if you can, because like you said before, you grew up in poverty with your dad being on welfare. Um, Take us back to that moment that you and your family found out that shit, I just got drafted for the NHL. Like, what was going through your mind that day? Like your family, everyone together, how was it?
Well, my dad came to the draft. It was in St. Louis. Um, my agent paid for my dad. Actually, he paid for my dad and for myself. We didn't have money to get there, so and I was ranked. I think it was third round. But a month before, I met with Calgary, and Calgary told me that they had two pick in second round, 39th and 40th. So they said, well, back then I didn't understand nothing in English, so I couldn't speak. I was sitting there, and there was the head scout was there with the Quebec scout was Normand Poisson, I think. Yeah, I think it was Normand Poisson. And the head scout was, I think his name was Tom Thompson. He was talking to me. I'm like, so what is he saying?
Mhm.
So basically, he said that he saw me in when we played against All, and I fought Peter Worrell, which was 6'6" and 240 pounds. I was 170 with my equipment, with my gear on, hockey gear on, and I was about 5'11", 5'11 and a half. He said, I fall in love with you. And uh, he said that when I saw you fight this guy, I said, I want this guy in my team. So we're going to draft you, have two picks in second round, 39 and 48. And for sure, you're going to get drafted in second round. We want you. If you're still there, you're coming with us. And blah, 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 blah. So I was like, yeah, right. I'm sitting there. And the guy before me, the player before me that met with them, it was Daniel Gonneau. And Daniel Gonneau had to return in the draft because he got drafted 2 years prior and didn't sign. So he had to go back through the draft again. And he came downstairs and like, oh, they're gonna draft me. They told me that they like me and they have two picks in second round. So I'm sitting there and they probably say that to all the kids. And so I wasn't too excited about it. I said, well, I know I'm ranked at third round, but with all the European guys, and I'm probably gonna go out six, seven, eighth round, but I don't care. Like draft is just a number, and when I get there, I'm gonna show who's the boss. So that was my thinking. Anyway, so I was in St. Louis, sitting in the stands. I was sitting with all the players that my agent had, and my best friend Jean-Pierre Dumont. We're sitting together, and he got drafted third overall in the first round. So we didn't sit there for a long time. So we lost him. I was sitting there. So first round goes through. It's back then it was long. It was every round the same day, and so it was a long process. And second round comes. So 30, it goes on. And then 39, I'm like, hey guys, I put you 20, like I bet you $20 that Daniel Gano's going to get drafted by Calgary Flames. So 39 goes. It was Travis Brigley from West Hockey League. So I'm like, okay, 48. Daniel Gano's going to go there. So I see corner of my eye, GP Dumont is running. He's on the main floor. He's running and pointing at me. It's you, it's you, it's you. So all I remember is now I can say it because I'll tell you the whole story. But the scout Tom Thompson. So he had the mic and and the Calgary Flames are proud to select from the Voreur de Val d'Or. It's like that. Le joueur de centre, Steve Bégin. So I'm like, so I stand up, but it's like you're like in a dream. So you don't feel anything. You don't know what's going on. You're like floating. And I don't remember who I shake hands with, who I kissed, who I though I can't recall nothing.
Shock.
But I was shocked. I was because I didn't, like I said, yes, they told me. I didn't take that for cash. For me, I'm like, I don't know, they just say that to all the kids, and then I don't want to be mad after the draft because I didn't go on the second or third round. I said, I'm gonna go out. Maybe I'm gonna get drafted in sixth, seventh, eighth round, but I have to do the job to make the team anyway. Even if I'm a first rounder, you have to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself to them that you're good enough to play in that league. So, but the thing is, I was so excited because when I got back home, I saw it on TV. My father-in-law recorded it on TV because I was the last player to be on TV on RDS drafted. So I was the last guy because back then they had, like, say, a 2 or 3 hour show. And then even if you're a second round or third round, they they cut it and then they go to another show. So I was the last player drafted on TV that year. So I was so proud of it.
Good for you, man. Good for you, man.
Thanks.
No, that's something that very inspirational. Like you said, it's all about having the right attitude, right? Having the right attitude. Got to be 100% sold out on where you're going versus wishy-washy. Because if you're wishy-washy, you're going to get wishy-washy results, right?
Exactly. But yeah, you're totally right. I always knew I was gonna make it in the NHL. I always believed in myself, and I wasn't shy to say it out loud too. You would ask me back then. You would ask me, "So, what do you want to do when you grow older? I want to play hockey in the NHL. That's my dream. You sure gonna make it? I'm gonna make it." And you know, there's 0.04% of the minor hockey player that makes it to the NHL for only one game. So that's
So were people laughing at you when you
well,
were saying out loud, I'm going to be an
sure.
NHL?
Yeah. People, they were even parents. They were laughing at me. Oh, he wants to play in the NHL. He has to. He has a lot of job to do, like work to do. He's never gonna make it. Is that we didn't have money, so he said they were always kind of bashing me. But it's funny because those now when I see those people, they oh we knew you would make
Yeah.
it.
Of course, of
We're
course.
always here for you, and I'm like yeah. I remember me. I remember you laughing at me when I was telling you that I want to play in the NHL and I'll do anything that it takes to make it there. But hey, there's always people like this. So, but that's where I was getting my fuel,
Fuel. Your fuel, yeah.
exactly. So, and I wasn't mad at them because I used them to get there.
You have to be grateful. You have to be grateful for the haters because it's the haters that push us to the next level.
That's all them. I mean, that's why I'm thankful for them because they pushed me there. I proved
Of
them. I
course.
wanted to prove them wrong, and that's what I did. And because of them, because if it wouldn't be from for them, like I mean, you need those people, and you need to listen to them, but not to believe them. So that's what I
It's
did,
true.
because they're gonna push you to your max. They're gonna push you to be better every day, and that's what I've done since I was young. And I don't know where I because like younger, like very young, I knew we didn't have money. I knew that I was always with my equipment was used. It wasn't new, but like I knew someday I would make it and would have like a new gear, new hockey gear and stuff like that. And my dad pushed me a lot. My dad he raised me well and gave me a lot of good advice. And I remember when I was playing at home, um, one game I scored like I used to be a goal scorer younger, like all the kids that play hockey. But it's funny when I say it. But we finished the game. I think I scored 3 goals, and after the game, is like, "You think you played well?" I said, "Yes, I did. I got 3 goals. I mean, what do you want more?" I said, "Well, everybody score goals in every league, every age, every category. There's goal scorers. If you want to play in the NHL, you got to change your style." I said, I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? I'm probably one of the best, if not the best player of my team, and probably one of the best player in the league. He's like, well, that's not enough. If you watch the NHL, every team don't only have a goal scorer. You need to change your style and play like Dale Hunter. I'm like, Dale Hunter. He said, yeah, the little pest. You need to be a pest. I'm pretty sure, and I guarantee you, your chance is going to be better for you to make it to the NHL if you change your style and play like him. So as soon as he said, if you want to play in the NHL, change your style and play like Dale Hunter, next game,
Hmm.
that's how I played. So since at home, I play like a pest, and you didn't want to play against me.
Like the modern Gallagher, right?
Exactly, yeah. So You see, I said before, like the kids now, they're all like skills. They're all good. They're all, Gallagher is that type of player, but he's skilled too. He can play hockey. He's pretty good. He's got a great hockey sense, and he's good with the puck. He can score. That's the new era, new generation.
Of course. And let's talk about toughness. We know hockey is not an easy sport.
Mhm.
You got to be tough, right? It's uh, in your career so far with in the NHL. Who was the toughest player you played against or with?
Well, I played against so many tough guys, especially again back then, like in the '90s and beginning of 2000. They like fighting was a bigger thing, and but I'm not gonna tell you like tough guys like fighting wise, but the guys that I would fear the most, guys like Scott Steven. You had to keep your head up when you were playing against him. He was so mean, so tough. He would hit you so hard. Guys like a player like Brian Marchman,
Oh
like
yeah.
like if you put this guy, the same guy in this league now, he would go in jail. Like he would,
Oh my god.
as soon as you will look away for a second, you were done. You would clip your knees, clip your head. It was like he was so tough, mean. Another tough guy, Mark Messier. He played like mean and tough. Get out the way. He was like if he said he was going there,
We have his look.
exactly. So I looked up to him too. He's like I like the way he was a good leader and the way he was playing. Um, but if you like tough wise, like fighting wise, Taidumi,
Of course.
Tony, guys like that. Brendan Shanahan was tough. Like he could fight, and he was so mean on the ice too. Um, Same with him. Like he would hit you so hard that you had to keep your head up. So I like to say like when we talk about tough guys, I like to say those names or not fighting wise, like fighting like because a guy's gonna come. You know, if he's a fighter, he's gonna bring that. But other than that, sometimes like he's not gonna bring much more. But those guys, like they were a big part of their team. They were good players, but they were so dangerous too when you were playing against them.
Like there was a Greek guy in Montreal had one time, Kostopoulos or something.
You know
They
what?
he was just a fighter, right?
He wasn't a fighter. No, he was a hard working guy. Like he would finish his check, he would fight, but he wasn't the. I like is like when he got to Montreal. Me and him we bonded. Like he's such a great guy and funniest guy I played
Yeah.
with. He's so fun. He's so good. He's like we had so much fun together. Great
He was
hockey.
here for how long? 2, 3 years?
But I played with him for 1 year and
Oh, 1 year.
then 1 year or maybe 1.5. I think, yeah, 1.5. Maybe I got traded after, but he's such a great guy. Work hard, doesn't say a word. He just do his job, and like he would fight once in a while. He wasn't the toughest fighter. He wasn't the best fighter, but he wouldn't. He would never say no. He
Cool.
would never back up from a fight.
There you go.
And did you enjoy playing for the Habs the most out of all the teams you played?
Oh yeah, of course. The Habs put me on the map. I had like I said, I'll say it again. It's cliche, but it was kind of a dream come true. I love Boston. Boston is a great city. I know I'm not sure if I should say that. I don't know. uh, but Boston, I love Boston so much. The city is great. Organization was good too. It was another good place that I play. Montreal, Boston.
Hey, Boston's a hockey town. I never been to Boston actually. I would love to go.
Never been. You should
Never been.
go when you have a chance. Even in the summertime, there's so many things to do. They have actually when I spent a year there, like in Montreal, we're lucky. We have good restaurants. The food is awesome. We're well known around the league at Montreal. If you want a good restaurant, Montreal is the place. Of course, New York City too. But in the States, you have to find a good restaurant. You have to know where you're going. You have to have a connection that's going to tell you because it's all fast food, it's all chains, it's all. But in Boston,
Seafood, good seafood.
oh, they have a lot of good restaurant there. So I was lucky. I love going out to eat to a good restaurant, and Boston, I had everything there. So it's we were lucky. We spent, like I said, a year there with me and my family, and we enjoyed every day.
So basically, when you play for different teams, you always have to live in that city, right? You and your family. So you're all together. Got you.
Yeah, altogether, I was lucky. My kids were still young when I was playing. Um, the last the last year I played after Boston. Actually, I had a hip surgery. That's why I stopped playing the first time. That year, I played 3 years, 2 years in Montreal, 1 year in Boston, and then I signed with Nashville, which I spent most of the time in the minor. That's where we found out that my hip was bad. I needed a surgery, but I played with it for 4 years. That was my
Wow.
fourth year. Yeah, so that year in Milwaukee, my family didn't come with me because I didn't know how long I would be there, and but the coach there, Lambert, he was so good to me. Like I was hurt, so every time he said, "Steve, if you want to go home, let me know. We'll spare. Like you go home, do your treatment, and then go home for the weekend for 4 days, 5 days. Come back. I know you're gonna do what you have to do back home. Uh, just come and tell me, and I'll let you go home. I know what it is with kids. I know you love your family, you love your kids, and you miss them a lot. So whenever you want, let me know, and you'll go." So I was lucky, but they didn't come that year. And then I stopped playing for a year and a half, almost 2 years. Then I made a comeback in Calgary. I was lucky to make a comeback. I played there, so they didn't come again because they were both at school. And I went to training camp the year after. I got hurt again to my hip, so I was done. But the first 6 months, 5 months, I was with their farm team, taking care of the young kids, and family stayed behind. So it was those moments was they were tough, but it was part of the game. And actually, last night we were reading letters that my oldest one wrote me. I think she was 8 years old back then, and it was funny. Like she was sad because I was leaving, but she was happy for me because I was making a comeback, and it kind of was funny. Last night we we were reading those letters.
But how was it though that after a game, playoff game, regular game, you're done, then you're back home, and now you're a father, a husband. How was that feeling
The
for
best
you and your family?
That was the best thing because I had a switch that when I was at the rink, my switch was on. As soon as I would get in my car and drive home, I was off. I would get home, I would leave all my problem outside the door, and I would get inside and listen. You get home, you have two beautiful kids that they're waiting for you. So much brings so much joy. I love kids, and I'm the kind of dad that I wanted to be part of their life. And I knew with my career playing hockey, I was always on the road. So every time I was home, it was all for them. I didn't mind even if I had a game the next day, um, staying up all night to take care of my kids. I didn't mind it. It was part of me. It was part of the job of being dad.
Mhm.
So it was the best thing because when you're at the job, you're having a bad day at the job, you go back home, you have those kids, you have your kids waiting for you, and they have no clue, huh? Kids have no clue. They're always happy. They're always
Hmm.
smiling when you get home. They always now they're 16 and 13. I get home, no sign of them. Huh? They're in their they're they don't want to see you. You go see them, and they're like, "All right." yeah. Okay.
I'm in the phase right now that you discussed before, almost 3 years old, and the other one 18 months. So I'm enjoying the moment.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
enjoy it. But my friends that have older kids, they say, "Oh, you see, as they grow up, it's bigger problem, different problem." But I wouldn't say they're problems. It's just a phase that they're having. Their kids, they're 13 and 16 years old. Actually, my oldest one, the that phase that for 2 years she wouldn't talk to us. They wouldn't want to be with us. We'll go see her in her room and okay, just yeah, you can go outside now. Yeah, don't stay here. It's my time. Like I have nothing to tell you. So you ask them question and they're like, yes, no, yes, yes. You know, you get nothing out of them. They don't want to spend time with you. But now she's back to normal. Like she wants to be with us, and she comes to sit at the tables. We have friends over. Not now because with everything that's going on. But
pre-COVID.
when we pre-COVID, so we always have friends at her place, and now she comes and sit with us, and she talks, and she's all excited. She's oh, it's good to see you, and she spent times with us. So it's fun. It's fun for her dad. It's fun for my wife too. But the other one now she's in that phase that she doesn't want to talk to us. She doesn't want to be with us. I'm like, well, it's gonna last for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then you'll be like your sister. You'll come back to us, and you're gonna talk to us and tell us everything that's going on in your life. But it's part of life, and it's fun actually. It's fun to grow up, like to see them growing up and going through those different phases, and that's cool.
Do you put them in sports as well, your kids?
I tried. Actually, at home we're not. They both tried to play hockey. They figure skate. They like we said. There was one thing that was very important to me. I said, I don't care what you do, but give everything you have. Have fun doing it. I don't want you to go there and just be lazy and not give everything that you have. Just do your best every time. So they did gymnastic. They changed. They wanted to do something else. So they both did figure skating, and then they wanted to play hockey. They played hockey for a year, and then my oldest one played volleyball with her school. She stopped last year actually. Now she's a fifth grade, high school. So it's 11th grade. Yeah. So and my youngest one, she plays basketball now. So yeah. So I try to encourage them to do sports. I want them to be in good shape, good health. So for me, it's very, very important that they move and they stay active. So
Actually, what's your to top of that? What's your advice to me, for example? Nick doesn't have kids for now, but in my case, 3 years old and 18 months. At what age is good to put them in hockey, in your opinion?
oh, you know what? It's gonna come
Five.
from like you don't push them. You as soon as they can skate, maybe you bring them, have fun with them, make sure they're having fun. Like they, it's a must. If they don't have fun, they won't like it, and
Yeah.
it's like anything else. But it's no advice. Just make sure you make that happening, like an event. How can I say that? You just don't
Événement régulier.
and gradually, yeah, you push him a little bit more, but you make sure they have fun. He skates with you, and he's always with you. He sees that you're having fun. He's gonna have fun. You play with him, and then slowly you're starting to put a stick in his hand, and then things like that. But make sure they're like he has fun, and
Yeah.
it's for him. Like it's make sure you don't do it for you.
Yeah.
There's so many parents or dad that they
The force.
kids in hockey, but kids the kid doesn't want to play hockey. The dad wants him to play hockey. That's why he plays hockey, and it's not fun for him. And like so many story about it, but just don't push him. Make sure it comes from him, and the main thing is he has to have fun.
Mhm.
Steve, do you find that because you know before you were talking about the haters were your fuel, right?
Yeah.
But do you find that because of the fact that you grew up in poverty, was that a fuel as well? Do you think that if the circumstances were different, like let's say you did not grow up in poverty, you would still be in the NHL?
No, it's. I think it's the way I was raised. Like I said before, I told my dad that I wanted more, and I'm proud from of where I'm from. I'm proud, and if you give me the chance to redo my childhood and being rich, I would say no. Like I would say I want the same life that I had. I want to be raised like I was raised. That's why I made it. That's why I became the man I am today. But and I always say that I'm proud of where I'm from. It's a little place here in Trois-Rivières, and that's what make me who I am today. And my dad pushed me hard. He just made sure that I was working harder than everybody else, and it worked. So yeah, it's big part of it. Yeah,
And you say your dad, so your parents were they separated when you were young?
yeah. I got my parents got separated. I was a year old, a year and a half.
Oh no. Okay. And
Well,
you
it didn't affect me at all. Like my dad was my mom too, so it was like nothing happened. Like I didn't know better. Like they didn't split when I was 6 years old or 7 years old. I was a year and a half, and even back then, my dad was a big thing for me. I was always wanted to be in his arm, and
So
was
your
always.
mom wasn't in the picture?
She left when I was, let's say, a year and a half, and then she wasn't really in the picture for a long time. I would see her once or twice a year. Even I remember when I was, I think it's 7 years old, I was sitting at my grandmother's house, and she came in, and she started talking to me, and she said, Steve, I don't see you a lot. We don't talk a lot, but I'm still your mom. I said, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I know. But that was it. Like I was like it didn't affect me. And but I started to reconnect with my mom when I was 17 years old, the day of my junior draft in Drummondville, and it's the first and only family picture that we have.
Wow.
My dad,
wow.
my mom, my brother, my sister, and myself on the same picture. That's the only one.
So your
Otherwise,
dad raised you. Your dad raised you all three kids. Your dad?
well, yeah, well, actually, my
Wow.
my brother uh, didn't really have that chance. He like he was my with my dad a little bit, and then he moved to my mom, and then he moved to another family. He moved around
Wow.
like this, so he had a still tough
Upbringing.
tough life. My sister, yeah, she was raised by my dad too, and then yeah, so it was tough for me. He had like a little alcohol problem. Now he's been sober for 20 years. Uh,
Bravo.
Wow.
he used to drink a lot, like a lot, and
When you say sober, not to one sip of alcohol.
nothing. And you know what? Even a week after he got out of rehab, he would walk. He was walking into a bar, and no problem. He would sit there, have Eau Perrier, like a bottle of water or a Perrier or a Coke, or he wouldn't even like. He said when he got out of there, he said, "Oh, alcohol, the smell of it disgusts me. I want to puke." That's what he said. I want to puke when I smell it. But I would go in a bar, like I wouldn't mind like my friends would drink, and I said, well, first of all, they're not your friend. You know why they were with you? Because you were. I was always giving my dad money because I was like when I signed my contract. Um, I was playing pro, so I was sending him money, but it wasn't. I thought it was for the good thing, but it wasn't for the good thing, and that's where he had more friends. So anyway,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
yeah. So yeah, he's nothing, not even a drop since for 20 years now.
Good for him. And do
Good
you
for him.
drink
Very strong. Occasionally, like I'm not a big.
wine?
I've never been a big drinker. I will. Like I will be on party like once in a while, but when I was playing, seriously, when I was playing, I was so like I always took care of myself. I wouldn't drink a lot. I would never have a glass of wine or beer just for fun like this. We would go out before a game. I would never drink. If we had a chance, like we had a team bonding somewhere and we wouldn't play for a few days, okay, I would, yeah, I wanted to be part of the group, to spend time with the guys and have fun with them. So I would drink. In the summer, I would probably drink one, twice, maybe three times a summer. That's it. Like I was very strict. I was
Discipline, discipline.
very disciplined, very, very disciplined. And like I said before too, we every time we're having like people always come to my place. That's the party place where like we enjoy having people over, and people would come, would drink, would be 20, 30 in like in my place, and I wouldn't have a sip of alcohol. I would only drink water, and I wouldn't care. Like I'm how can I say that? I'm a clown.
Dedicated,
I'm a
committed.
clown. I'm stupid, so I don't need alcohol to have fun with them. So I just lower my like I drop to their level. So I'm like if I was drunk. So my friend, if they hear that, they're gonna laugh because they know that's exactly how I am. Now I'll have like wine like this. Like I'll drink more, but I'm not far from having a problem. I can tell you that. Like I can, let's say I'll have a glass of wine or a bottle of wine tonight. The next time I'll drink it maybe in a month. Like I don't
Occasions, occasional,
usually, yeah,
social. Yeah.
So
social.
you're not like what's his name? Theo Fleury or Guy Lafleur, right?
No, well, they both used to drink a lot, I guess.
Yes, yes, yes. I
But
think before the game or something, right?
oh yeah, well they
Before,
actually after was smoking between periods and eating hot dogs and stuff like that. So no, I wasn't like that.
There you go.
uh, Steve, like you were saying before, like people basically, when you make it big, right? Did you experience this actually, where people tend to like mooch off you, like, oh, like the new friends appear in your circle all of a sudden, or family members, like then they and you could see that they're just trying to be around you for status or money and all that stuff. Did you experience that in your
Well,
career?
there's always like things like that happens, or people that try to get into your bubble or your friendship circle. But you know them. My friends. I had them for a long, long time, and we met new friends during my career too. They're all around, and you know what? Um, I'm always the one that calls my friend. Like I don't know like if I meet new people, new friends, like we're gonna like how can I say it? We're gonna go out a few times together, dinner, and then we'll get to know each other, and then become friends. And after that, they realize that I'm calling them. Hey, how you doing? I always want to know how my friends are doing. And there's one of my friend actually. I've been friend with him for 10 years now, or 8 years. At the beginning, he said he was kind of he felt bad and like, why he's calling me? Steve Bégin is calling me. So he was saying that to his girlfriend, and one day I called him just to know how he was doing. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm doing good. You you have something to ask me, or I don't know, just want to know how you feel. If you're doing good today, if you want to do something, or they're all surprised that I'm always the one calling them to see how they're doing, and so
That's nice, man. Very nice.
friends are very very important. It's like family to me. So
Of course.
I like being with friends, and they're the one that if something goes wrong, you can count on them to help you and be there at just those moments. So we're the same. So they all know that home, if there's a problem, if they have a problem, like they can call us. My wife is the same. She calls her friends and see how they're doing, and but yeah, just go back to your question. It happens a few times, but you know who they are, and you try to like without them knowing that you're trying to push them aside. But it's yeah.
Mhm.
And you hang out with a lot of like do you hang out with people from the NHL right now or?
No, no. Like we're gonna talk to if I see one or there's one, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna call a few of them once in a while. Actually, 2 days ago, I talked with Chris Clark. I used to play with him, and actually, we both broke into the league at the same time. We played 3 years in St. John, New Brunswick, in the farm team, and then with by his first 2 years in the AHL two, we made it together. So we were very close, me and him, and his wife and my wife. So I talked to him 2 days ago. That was fun. That was good, like reaching out to him to see how he was doing. And I also talk by once in a while, once in a while. We probably talk once a week. I mean, GP's Mo. And lately, once in a while, I've been talking to La Tendresse, Guillaume. He has his show now. He's doing pretty good too. So, but I have my circle of friends that they weren't playing hockey, which is a good thing. And those are the friends that they're always going to be there for you.
So two questions in one, and then we could talk about your prediction with the Habs this year, right? We could talk about that quick. Question number one: uh, when you were playing with the Habs, who was was it? Quel le copie le plus drôle? So question number one: who was your teammate that was the funniest, and how is your retirement right now? Like, what do you do for retirement?
The funniest, like I said before, we talked about Costopoulos. It was funny. I liked him. I always have a prank on someone, or and so my wife and his wife, they were getting along pretty good. So he's a great guy, great teammate on and off the ice. So I think it was one of the funniest teammate I had. What I'm doing now, I have. Civil engineering construction company
Okay.
that I invested in 8 years ago. It's going to be 8 years in February. It's doing good actually. It's weird to say, but we're off our best year contract wise. We do bridges. We make bridges.
Wow.
So, I had a chance to invest in that when I made my comeback. I was in Calgary. I just signed my contract, and a week later, my one of my best friend, my partner in the business, Mario. Actually, we were talking about it. He presented me to his project to start a company in civil engineering.
It's we're in Quebec.
We're in Quebec, yeah. We're based in Trois-Rivières. We have jobs in L'Assomption, Montreal, Laval, Trois-Rivières, Bécancour. We're
Nice.
doing pretty good this year, but so like a month or two before, he called me. He said, "Hey, Steve, I always told you that I would think about you and ask you when I would start a company, and here I am." So I want to he told me about the company, what I wanted to do, and he grew up in construction, so he knows a lot about it. He's not he's when you learn from doing it.
Mhm.
So he was always he had a big well, how can I say that? He started commercial, and then he started his own company. It was his dad company, and then he started his own company, residential. So that's where I knew him. I first met him. He built my house in Blainville. So he drove. He's from Trois-Rivières. So I'm from Trois-Rivières. So he drove from Trois-Rivières to Blainville to build my house. And
Oh,
then
you live in Blainville?
no, now I live in Candiac. But my
Okay.
first house I built was in Blainville, right beside. Actually, it was right beside Jean-Sébastien Giguère. And my best friend Jean-Pierre Dumont was he bought a house a few streets over. So we're all together, like close together. We're always together in the summer. We train together. And anyway, so Mario built that house, and then we bonded together. We're always together. He's a great guy. So he's funny too. He grew up in construction here in Trois-Rivières, a little village called Pointe du Lac. So he talks. He's around. Oh, anyway, he doesn't understand English, so he talks like kind of funny. Always and like always making fun of him when he says something. So anyway, so we
But it's
bonded.
all love. It's all love.
It's all love. Yeah, yeah, it's all love. He's the same too. He likes making fun of people. Um, so here I am now. We actually 8 years ago he called me and said, "I have something to present you, and you want to invest in this company where we're gonna buy." Because there was a company that he was working for wasn't doing good. Actually, it was doing good, but the owner sold money to the company, so about 4 millions. So we said this company is going bankruptcy, so we're bankrupt, so we're gonna buy it, and then we're gonna start our company. That's what we did, and so far so good. I don't know much about it. I'm not like I travel a lot. Right now, I'm in the office in Trois-Rivières. I always go on the sites, every sites, construction sites that we have, make sure everything goes well. And it's an office job that I have. I always said that I never would do it. I never would. I would never work in an office. Here
Uh-huh.
I am today working in an office, and I seriously, it's not my cup of tea, but that's what I have now, and I'm very proud of what we've done with the company so far.
That's right. So talk to us about the Habs this year. Now they're going to change it up because of COVID. It's going to be the Canadian teams and so on and so on. And from what I understand and from what I heard, obviously you know more than me, it,
Oh, I don't.
the team is they have a very good power team. But is that every year or what are your thoughts?
Well, I think this year they're better than they were before, last year and the year before. Um, they're still missing a few pieces of the puzzle, but if Anderson, the new player, is big, is strong, is good, uh, if he's healthy, he's gonna do a good job for us. We're gonna like him, but if he's not healthy, if he's hurt all the time, it might be like where the team's gonna have a problem. We have to find a way to get Drouin going. That will help the team a lot. But I think I don't know if we say it every year, but we're going
Ça
the
sent la
right.
coupe.
I
Ça
think
sent
we're
la
going
coupe.
the right direction. Seriously, with the new addition they make this year, we definitely have a better team, and I'm pretty sure we'll make the playoff this year if hockey happens.
Now, Price, okay. Do you think he's overrated?
No, I played with him when he was younger. He's so good. He's so calm. That's why sometimes people like, well, that's what people doesn't like to see. Like they don't like to see like how calm he is, but it's a good thing. And he's so talented. He's so good. He's I like him. I You need a good goaltender, but you need something in front to first help prevent the goal, but score goals for you, and not goals only when it's 5-1 or 6-2, or when the game is out of like reach, or you know where it's going. You need like clutch players that they're gonna score those goals when you need them, like to put you ahead one goal or to put you like even, or you need those kind of players. And right now, that's why we're having like difficulties finding one like this. But
There.
you have that kind of player, it's gonna change the whole thing, the whole done. And him, you'll see how, because he's one game for himself, and playoff he was good. He's I don't know if you guys, you asked me that question because you don't like him, or
Oh no, I like him a lot, but it's just every freaking year we have it, and it's like I remember when was it in 2015 when Subban was there. We were doing great in the playoffs, and then he got injured from the Rangers.
yeah.
Everything was going down, but we were gonna have that. We were gonna go to the final, right? We were
Yes, you
gonna
had
get.
your chair on St. Catherine, huh? Already.
Sorry,
You had your chair set up on St. Catherine for the parade, huh?
I was ready to go. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well, I think, yeah, that year, well, I don't know if you would have won the whole thing, but I hopefully yes.
but
But
no,
we,
I like him. I like him, but I'm just
yeah,
asking from your opinion. We're probably gonna edit this part, of course, but yeah, it's
I
just a
think he's
question.
a great goaltender. He's so good. He's so calm. That's what you need. You need as a player. You know your goaltender is good like that. You know he's so calm. He never panics, and sometimes it looks too easy for him, but like when you know you have him behind you, you're better. You're a better team. But
Mhm.
now it's good thing. Like imagine if you're a better team, but you have good players also. Uh, that's where I'll start. He's the one that has to answer to the last scout, because he's getting the shot on.
Of
If
course,
he's making mistakes in front, he has to be there. So it always fall out on him. Like if something
Mhm.
wrong, like if something goes wrong, it's always the goaltender. But
Yeah.
well, I think we're really tough on him because the money he's making. But if we wouldn't have paid that money, he would have played somewhere else right now. So
Mhm.
that's how it works, and I'm very excited for him. And I think he worth the money he's making because it's the market.
Of course,
But that's why it's hockey. It's a tough sport, huh? Especially here in Quebec. Um, Everybody knows how much the players are making, and what's, we didn't talk about it. But what's fun about Montreal is when the team wins, you hear people saying, "We won. We had a good game last night." When the team lose, they lost. You know, they're not part of the equation. When they win, they
Sore
put it
losers.
on the team. But when the team lose, they have nothing to do with them. It's funny, but it's that's why it's so good to play here in Montreal. And that's why they are the best fan ever. Like it's great. I loved it, and you have to know how to deal with it.
here's another very good question, actually, which was the debate for the last few years. Do you think it was a good trade, Weber with Subban? Subban.
Oh yeah, I love Weber. Weber is the core of the team. He's the leader. Is when
Mhm.
you have a guy like Weber in your team. Once again, I said it with Price, but everybody gets tougher and
Mhm.
better. He calms everybody down in the room. He knows what to say. He has a big presence on the ice and in the room.
Mhm.
You need this guy. Uh, Subban was, I think it was a little too much. He likes to have the attention, the spotlight on him. He likes to be flashy. He likes to, that's his show. Compare Weber to him. Weber doesn't want the show. He wants to make sure that everybody has his
Is
little
more of a leader
exactly. Oh, he's
than
a great,
showman.
one of the
Yeah.
best. leader in the league, if not the best. And if you talk about him around the league, they're all gonna say the same thing. And everybody loves him. Everybody would take him in his team. And when they made that trade, I was one of the few one that say I was so excited about it, and I was one of the best trade that the Montreal made. And still today, that's a very good move that they made. And I think see how Piqué where he's having trouble the last few years. I think he's too big now. He's
You mean his head is too big?
I don't know if his head or he has too many things on the side that probably keeps him away from hockey, like his head from hockey. So, but he's a good player. I love him too. But I like Weber better.
Steve, did you have any mentors when you were starting off in hockey? Any people that you were looking up to?
No, my dad gave me the best advice every year. But other than that, I didn't have like today. That's funny because I was on another podcast. I was talking and I said that kids are lucky today. They have a skill coach, they have a power skating coach, they have like a nutrition coach. Every kind of coach you can have, they have them. It makes it easier for them, but of course they have to pay for it. But back then, I had nothing. I would go to hockey school in the summer. My dad would, yes, we were on welfare, but he would, in the summer, he would work under the sous la table. So keep that between me and you guys.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So he could pay me like hockey school, and so we could spare a little bit of money for the winter. But that's it. Like I had nobody like I could turn to and ask question, or like a mentor or someone that would cheer me up, or I wouldn't, like now you have so many different kinds of book for leadership, for character, for everything. So I wish back then I would have something like this to help me and maybe get me a little bit smarter, or maybe I would have changed a few things on the way, and I would have been better because of it. But yeah, that's kids are lucky now.
You should be very proud of yourself, man. You've done great things, and you're a great inspiration.
Like we said before, I try to be humble and share my passion with everybody. And I like to talk to people. Like people stop me in the street, I always take time with them and answer their question. And it's cool. It's fun to talk to different persons. So.
It is true, because it's the first time we meet virtually, let's say, and it is true. The rumor is true. You are a very down to earth person. So never change, man. Stay the same.
I will never change. That's how I was raised. So I'm never gonna change. Believe me.
Well, perhaps when COVID is over, we can meet up and formally meet as well, man.
A little beer, yes, and hug yourself.
And we'll bring you to one of the best Greek restaurants in Montreal.
Well, that would be awesome. And then we'll call Kostopoulos.
Sure.
There you go. Let's do it.
That's a deal.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you very much for taking the time with us today, Steve.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you.
There's anything, guys, email me, text me, or I think it was on Instagram that we.
Instagram, yeah.
I'm not a big Instagram guy. I knew you guys were writing to me. That's why I was always looking. But sometimes like I'm not gonna go on it for a few days and then I have a few messages. So
there you go. So going back to what we said, not only never change, but never change your haircut. Okay.
Well, I like to change it, but I'm there's not much on top. Let me tell you that. I can see
Sounds good, man. Thank you for your time, huh?
Hey, anytime, guys. Take care.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Bye.